Hey there, my name is Mike Ryder. I am a solutions architect here at N2WS. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to add and configure and create an S3 bucket with object lock enabled for immutability for your S3 archives. So when you come into the CPM console, you'll see down here storage repositories. So this is where you're going to associate any of the S3 buckets that you have enabled that you want to utilize. But before we do that, we're going to actually go and create an S3 bucket with object lock enabled. So we'll just log into AWS, we'll come into S3, and we're going to create a new bucket. So this is just going to be a general purpose bucket. And the bucket name, so you can add, obviously this has to be unique across the world. So this is just going to be Mike, AWS, Immutable. And we'll just give it, just to make sure it's unique. All right, so then ownership, we're just going to leave this disabled. Typically, this is just going to be a standard bucket, and nothing crazy is expected. You can obviously block public access if you like. Versioning, so we usually don't support versioning. However, in this case, object lock automatically enables versioning, so we're going to let that do it by itself. So we'll just leave this as disabled for now. Any tags that you need that are required, do that here beforehand. And then encryption. So any S3 bucket that you are planning on using in N2WS always requires encryption, always. Some sort of encryption. So it's up to you what you want to use. I'm just going to keep it as server side with a S3 managed key and just make sure that it's enabled. And then I'm going to drop down advanced settings here. And then here's object lock. So I'm going to select enable. And it says, it tells you object lock only works in version buckets. So if you come back up now that I enabled that, it's versioning, it's all grayed out now and it's enabled by default. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to acknowledge that the little warning here will permanently allow object in its buckets to be locked. And then after the bucket is created, then we need to go and just do a couple more configurations. So I'm going to create the bucket. So additional configuration is required to protect objects for immutability. So I'm going to open up this bucket that I just created. And then go to properties. And I'm going to scroll down to object lock. So here's object lock. So now here's the retention that we need to configure. So we're going to click on edit. And then our default retention, we're going to enable. And now here's where we're going to select which mode we want for our backups to be locked. So this governance here is, any users with very, very specific permissions can override or delete, or manipulate the objects in this bucket for whatever specific period of time. So for example, I'm just going to select 30 days, right? That's how long I want my backups to be locked in my S3 bucket. And it could be, it could be up to you. It could be years, totally up to you. Or there's down here is our compliance mode. So now this means absolutely nobody can delete or manipulate those objects in that bucket for this amount of time specified here. And that includes the root user, root account, does not matter. It is going to be officially enabled to be deleted for this amount of time. So it doesn't matter which one you do. So say I want to do compliance, governance, which is also named legal hold, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Just so for now, I'm just going to click on governance and I'm just going to save changes. But the compliance is where the full immutability comes in. So now I'm going to come back to my storage repositories. I'm going to click on new S3 repository and I'll give it a name. So this is going to be S3 immutable legal hold because I selected governance mode and then select which bucket. So this is the bucket that I created. Now below here, there's an immutable backups and then which method. So the legal hold, like I said, is the governance mode, and then or there's compliance. I selected governance, so I'm going to select legal hold, and I'm just going to save it. And that's it. You're done. So now if I go to policies and I want to use this bucket in my life cycle, I just come down here. And my repository, and here is my S3 immutable legal hold that I want to use from my archives. So just to kind of give you a little more information, come back to storage repository. So say I'm going to add a new S3 repository, uh, and I want it to be immutable, but I maybe didn't configure it correctly and didn't turn on, my object lock or something like that. So for example, if I just click on this and I click on immutable and I click save, let's click on name here. It's going to give you a little error. Cannot create a immutable repository because object lock is not enabled. So it'll let you know. Same thing if encryption is not enabled, it will also let you know. So you'll get a nice, you'll get a little warning here and it won't let you continue until you fix it or select the right bucket, whatever the case may be. So we're not going to just say, okay, yeah, go ahead, and then it's just not going to work for you. So we'll let you know here. But anyway, that's it. So now you have your immutable bucket ready to go, and you can start archiving immutable backups. Hope this helped, and thank you for using N2WS.